A big return is planned for next week's SmackDown. Time is reportedly being added to Rey Fenix's contract, and WWE is interested in this AEW star. Find out who in a bit. So loads going on last night's SmackDown. Has Kevin Owens turned heel? Not quite yet. Randy Orton's going to do it. Yeah. One thing that we did learn is that AJ Styles is returning to the show next week. We haven't seen him on our screen since that I Quit match against Cody Rhodes all the way back in June, Clash at the Castle. Since then, he has done a few bits here and there. He's been doing the European tour when they were around for Bash in Berlin. But he hadn't been shown on our screens for quite some time. He will be back next week.
It feels very overdue. It feels like he's someone that they can rotate in and out because he's at that point in his career. But it's AJ Styles. I'm always delighted to see him at this point because he is getting on a bit. I don't know what he's going to do though. Like, what does he? Does he come back as a heel like he was before? Does he come back as a face and just have banger matches?
Yeah, I was thinking, they could bring him back, keep him as heel, and then do some more stuff with LA Knight because they had some
LA
good
Knight's
stuff
the thing
together.
I was thinking.
Put him in the mid card title scene for a bit, just to get some more defenses because LA Knight I don't think would drop it to AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I feel the same as you, right? In that he's AJ Styles. I'm delighted whenever he is on TV, and I love watching his matches. I really enjoy everything that AJ does. He's one of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boots and all that. But I was thinking on the way here, I was like, oh man, where do you book him?
It's tough, right? Because like you can slot him in that main event picture, but we've seen it this year. We've seen him have that thing with LA Knight this year as well. And it's like, do we want to repeat that? But on the SmackDown side of things, that mid-card is a little bit slim at the moment. So him coming back, another name that's been absent, Shinsuke Nakamura, maybe they could be a good boost to that division. Either way, whatever he does, it's going to be quite good.
It's going to be phenomenal, I reckon. That's his name, isn't it? I don't see him going back into the Cody, the world title picture, because that was really definitively done,
and it'd be the same four people right now. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and AJ, as it was at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
We don't want to see it again at the moment.
Anyway, looking forward to seeing Alan Jones back. We have got the Bad Blood host. There's going to be special guest hosts for the Bad Blood Premium Live event, and they were announced on last night's SmackDown too.
And it's going to be Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, the women's tag team champions. I'm always fascinated by the choice to have a guest host for a WWE pay-per-view when it's people on the roster.
Yeah, it's not something that I tend to get too excited about anymore, unfortunately.
Not excited for the Miz.
Well,
usually the host.
The problem is, like, they have a guest host, they announce the attendance, and then not much
That's
happens.
about
Sometimes
it, right?
there's a little something in the ring, they'll do something, but it's not the big deal that it perhaps once was. They have teased that they might be bringing along some special surprise guests in Atlanta. Any ideas?
My mind races with possibilities.
Clearly.
It'll be some local athlete, right? From a sports team or a musical artist.
Something
They've
got a theme. I can't remember the name of the theme. They might be bringing along the people that do the pay-per-view theme or something like that.
Yes, it could be them. I was thinking maybe Megan Thee Stallion because she does the SmackDown theme.
Oh, maybe, yeah, that's not a bad shout. That's a possibility.
We'll see.
Anyway, time will tell on that one. We won't have long to wait. Heading over to the AEW side of things, and it seems like it is going to be the AEW side of things for the time being. There were recent reports, of course, that the Lucha Brothers had signed with WWE, but then it was revealed that they were still signed to All Elite Wrestling, with them expected to enter negotiations proper with WWE when the AEW deals expire, contract tampering and all that. But they're ready to go with merch and all sorts of stuff. According to Fightful Select, AEW became aware of Penta openly discussing his contract with WWE and the plans to leave alongside Rey Fenix, or Fenix if you prefer. However, they reportedly did not inform AEW or communicated to them that they plan to leave, despite the company offering them new contracts this past summer, which they turned down.
Yes, so however, while Penta is set to become a free agent when his deal expires in the next 2 months, it seems Phoenix is set to remain with AEW, with AEW exercising their right to add on injury time to his contract. He's been off screen for quite a long time throughout the past 5 years that they have the right to add onto his contract. Per a report from Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, AEW is set to tack on around a year onto Phoenix's deal, with him obviously having missed that significant injury time.
This was backed up by Fightful, saying that WWE was informed last week that Phoenix would not be able to join the company imminently due to the missed time being added on. Penta had reportedly had that time added onto his deal too, or some time added onto his deal too, with AEW adding some around the time he publicly tweeted that his present was AEW. So it'll be interesting, but basically it looks like we're probably going to have to wait a little bit longer for Penta, and certainly a fair bit longer, a year approximately, according to these reports, for Rey Fenix. What do you make of this?
I mean, it's a thing that many people have called out WWE for in the past, adding on that injury time. And you've seen people calling it out on AEW's behalf just now as well with Phoenix. I can understand them wanting to get that contractual time from them that they've signed for. You know, that is what they've agreed to in the past. They should honor that deal. But also at the same time, if they don't want to be there, let them go. And I think that applies for me for both WWE and AEW. If a talent doesn't want to be there, there's no point in having them.
Yeah, I feel the same. I get it because they made an investment. They've signed X wrestler to Y number of years. And if that person is off TV, they're still being paid their downside. They're getting their guaranteed money. And so you want to use them for the time that you thought you had. But this wouldn't fly in other sports. This would, the unionized sports, this certainly wouldn't fly in. So I understand people's frustration with this. Is there too much value in Rey Fenix as a singles guy in AEW? He's amazing, obviously. I want to see them together. I think it's a shame. I want to see them in WWE because I think they'll do amazing stuff, as they have done in AEW.
Right enough. Phoenix is still young as well. He's in his early 30s, so the fact that he might get that singles push, I doubt it if he's sticking around and there's a bad scenario around it of him getting his injury time added on, despite them wanting to leave. I doubt he will get that push, but it might give Penta some time to get a singles push elsewhere when he does leave, if they don't leave together. Yeah,
I could see Penta doing well as a singles guy in WWE still, and then in a year's time, when Rey Fenix comes and joins him, you've got a big storyline to work with there. Exactly. After people are already sort of familiar with Penta and the WWE universe, know what he's about and everything. We'll keep you updated on that. This is one that we talked about a little bit yesterday. Malachi Black doesn't have as much time on his contract as we thought. Tony Khan, in fact, saying a couple of years ago that, no, not even a couple of years ago, I think it was last year, that Malachi was going to be with the company for 5 years. And it turns out that that's not the case. According to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE want Malachi Black to return to the organization. Word of WWE's interest comes after reports claim that Black's contract with AEW expires in early 2025. Apparently, we know that he, at least according to reports, tried to give notice to AEW in 2022 when Triple H first took the reins in WWE creatively, and they wouldn't let him go.
Understandable again with the contract length that he's signed.
Yeah,
another instance of that one where it's he's signed to a very, very long deal, and Tony will not want to let that go.
I've really liked what the House of Black have done in AEW. I think they're one of my favourite parts of the show.
Always fun to see.
They are. I really, really enjoy what they do, but I think it's just a matter of time because he was a Triple H guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was big in NXT Yellow and Gold, and his wife is in WWE, so he maybe wants to just go and spend, because I want to say he's 40 now, so he's wanting on his last sort of big contract. I think he's about that age.
No way!
Yeah.
I know he was Tommy End on the Indies for a long time, wasn't he?
Maybe
is he 40?
39 or 40 is around that age. So this will be like with Penta that has been saying is his last big money contract potentially in the world of wrestling. So there will be interest, I'm sure, on both sides when that deal does expire.
I think he's in quite a nice position given his character in the. You say it could be his last big money contract, but just by the sort of spooky nature of what he does and the fact that he has lots of people around him, I could see him as a character moving forward, even if he wrestles on a really part-time basis.
Yeah, for sort of
as he gets very old. very old, ancient. We're finishing off with some massive news. For me, at least, you go ahead with this one.
So, MJF has been cast in a big role in Happy Gilmore 2. It was announced earlier this year that Happy Gilmore 2 was happening, with Sandler once again playing Happy Gilmore. That's a lovely, lovely shirt you've got there.
Finally got a reason to wear it.
Now-
Wasn't expecting this news.
Deadline has now reported that MJF will be in the movie. PW Insider followed up with a report that Friedman will play the role of Geordie, who will be one of Happy's sons in the film. PW Insider report by Mike Johnson states that Gilmore's sons are tough, crazy bastards with New England accents who have inherited their father's love of hockey. They all live out on their own work blue-collar jobs. The Gilmore sons will be shown at different ages in the film. Presumably, he won't be playing them at every age.
No, I'm very, very excited for that. I try to not get my hopes up too much on sequels.
Especially sequels this long after the original.
For sure. And considering Adam Sandler's, I like that. What was that called? That Black Diamond?
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
This is one good one of the past few years.
That was really good. But Adam Sandler hasn't been good since Little Nicky, maybe, and even that's arguable. Some people
Click.
don't like that, but
Click was good.
didn't do anything for me.
No?
But like Happy Gilmore is one of my favorite films ever. And that Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison back to back, and then you had like Big Daddy in there.
Meet the Zohan.
That one as well. And you know what? MJF is a really big role for him. We don't know how long he's going to be in the film. As you say, he's going to be playing one particular character for one particular age range. But what a cool thing for him to
Really
be doing.
cool.
It's amazing. It's really cool, and we know he can act. He's a great performer, and he's getting to work alongside Adam Sandler, the nicest guy in Hollywood.
Exactly. What a year he's had. Iron Claw and Happy Gilmore. Even though his scene was cut from Iron Claw, he's still an executive producer on it.
Yeah, he is.
It's pretty cool.
Makes up for it. Right, we'll be back with more news very, very soon. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in a little bit.